It's well known that Mega Man X5 was meant to be the final game of the X series, and because of this, the game has an almost ceremonial feel to it, as it acts as a farewell to the X series, with the game including an abundance of references to Mega Man's legacy by forms of its music, level design, and more. Starting with the game's intro, of course, along with showing scenes from past X series games like X confronting Sigma and Zero confronting Bit, it also makes use of X Variable and Mega Man 3's Weapon Get theme as leitmotifs. Next, we actually head to X5's training mode, as it actually holds a truncated version of a Maverick from X4. This version of Magma Dragoon is missing a few of his moves, and also stalls between attacks. Saying this now, I don't think you guys understand how weird it is fighting a weaker Magma Dragoon with different voice clips, and using Japanese voice Zero with X5's boss theme on top of all that. Now that we're getting started with the actual game, a lot of things are taken from X4, like the 4th armor, Ultimate Armor X, and Black Zero making a reappearance, some enemies, this dreadful hoverboard section from Jet Stingray's stage. There's also quite a few references to Repliforce, with Spike Rose Red's stage taking place in an abandoned Repliforce facility, Burn Dinorex being a past member of Repliforce's disaster prevention team, and the Repliforce Air Force is where Spiral Pegasus' stage takes place. Before I start talking about the stages themselves, I feel as if I should talk about this familiar song that shows up when you find a Dr. Light capsule. Which is of course Dr. Light's theme from the first X game. On a side note, the first time you talk to Dr. Light as Zero, Zero will bring up reoccurring nightmares of him seeing an old scientist giving him orders, asking Dr. Light if he knows the scientist. This is of course referencing his X4 intro cutscene. With what might be the most well-known reference to a past Mega Man game in X5, Duff Mcwhalen's stage theme is actually a remix of Bubble Crab's theme. Speaking of Duff Mcwhalen's stage, it has an enemy in it named Gulpfer, a fish mechanoloid that made its first and only appearance in X1, aside from X5 of course, and functions basically the same between the two games. Another enemy that makes a return are these annoying green dragonflies called Paroroids, coming from X2, found in Burn Dinorex's stage. Along with the Paroroids, by taking the upper path in the second half of the stage, you'll have to evade a dragon mechanoid and eventually fight it, with the moment being heavily reminiscent to Mecha Dragon from Mega Man 2. You can even move while its health is rising. Onto the Zero stages, here's something interesting you may have never realized. Along with Quickman's insta-kill lasers, Zero Stage 1 is a complete recreation of Quickman's stage. Here's the level map for both of the stages. Fun fact, in the Legacy Collection, if you make it through the entire stage without using Darkhold once, you'll earn the achievement, "You're quick, man." That is so cool. Zero Stage 2 continues this trend, as it's a remake of Sigma Palace 1 from the original Mega Man X. Once again, here's a level map for both of the stages. While Zero Stage 3 doesn't take its level design from a past Mega Man game, the way that it hides X's ultimate armor in Zero's black armor is pretty similar to how the golden armor is hidden in X3, behind a fake wall near a bottomless pit. Getting the expected out of the way first, Zero Stage 4 is a remake of Bubble Man's stage. Once again, here's the stage layouts, and is also the first stage in the X series to use disappearing blocks. The stage theme is also a heavily remixed version of Quickman's theme. With that out of the way, we can talk about the bosses and their weapons. Starting with my personal favorite, when fighting Squid Adler as X will apologize about Launch Octopus, with Adler affirming that he wasn't talking about Octopus, as it was X's duty as a Maverick hunter to put him down, before he succumbs to the influence of the Sigma virus and states that X will be terminated just like Launch Octopus was. Squid Adler's Tri-Thunder is a reference to Elect Man's Elect Beam, shooting 3 electrical arcs that cling to the wall after not hitting a target, and even gives X the same color palette as his predecessor, and it's overall a great weapon just like its inspiration. When fighting Spiral Pegasus as Zero, Spiral Pegasus will ask Zero if his fight with Colonel was really necessary, along with making the request that Zero fights him, not only because he's infected with the Maverick virus, but because it's what Colonel would have wanted. If you confront Spiral Pegasus as X after he's become a Maverick, he will recognize X as the killer of General, and tells X that he will avenge General by killing him. Dark Dizzy is similar to Shade Man, with them both flying side to side at the top of their respective rooms, both of them using sound waves, and making lunges to sap energy from the player. Dark Dizzy's Darkhold is also a reference to Mega Man 2's Time Stopper, as it not only once again matches Mega Man's colors, but does the exact same thing. Onto the Zero Space bosses, the Shadow Devil serves as one big reference to classic Mega Man. For starters, its inspiration, the Yellow Devil, has the same attack pattern of deforming itself, then shooting an I-beam at the player. Its weakness is Tri-Thunder, whereas the Yellow Devil's weakness is Elect Beam, and it even transforms into Wily Machine 6 after being damaged enough. Dr. Wily's logo can also be seen in the background, and the theme that plays during the fight itself is a remix of the Wily boss theme from Mega Man 1. Zero Stage 2's boss is Rangda, making a return from Mega Man X, along with featuring an updated and more annoying attack pattern. It's also accompanied by a remix of the Sigma Palace boss theme. When fighting Ultimate Armor X as Zero, X will make use of 4 of his Mega Man X4 weapons, those being Double Cyclone, Soul Body, and Frost Tower. Finally, Sigma himself talks about an old man who knows a lot about Zero, and even talks about Zero as if he was his own father, and an old man who hates X as much as Sigma, this of course being Dr. Wily. Sigma's first phase feels very reminiscent of his X1 boss fight, being weak to Tri-Thunder and E-Blade, while he was weak to Electric Spark in Mega Man X, and how if you hang on to the walls, he'll begin to climb them to catch you just like in the original Mega Man X. Sigma's hands in his second phase resembles Gamma's from Mega Man 3, and his weak spot is even on his forehead like Gamma. Lastly, as Zero is dying, his memory chip begins to leak data, showing him visions of his past. Three of note being Sigma and him fighting before Sigma was a Maverick, Dr. Wily, and Iris. With all these references, that covers what I hope to at least be most of the references X5 makes to past Mega Man games. Thank you for watching the video for this long. I really appreciate it. I actually had a lot of fun making this video, even though sometimes it did become a little overwhelming with me losing footage and all. Other than that, have a great rest of your day.